let's see. So I have to adjust the frequency thing on the microphone. So give me a second here as I clean off my computer screen here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, it is clearly wrong, so I'm going to disconnect the mic and switch it to 48,000 hertz. 3, take 2. Take 2, testing 1, 2, 3. Molly, don't be whining. I know. We're all doing this together. We're trying to figure this out. Let's test this now. That's my voice. Now I don't sound like a cartoon Mickey Mouse. That's my voice. All right. That's good. That's good. Now I can mute it. Okay. Hey, Rashad. So the issue I always have here, let's move this up a little bit so you can see me and the keys a little bit and stuff like that. So the issue, so this is my setup here. You can't see the phone I'm on, but I've got, for the practice pianos, I've been using it this way because, you know, the optimum piano sound quality isn't as important as being able to hear the piano and be able to hear when I'm rambling and ranting about stuff. So kind of pointing toward me, you can still hear the piano and stuff. Then I got everything with a big mic. There's Molly. A horde of cables, extension cord over to there, computer over to here, and that. So the issue is, and this is really weird, I'm not sure why. If anyone knows, let me, help me out here, so I'm using a Zoom H4n microphone, looks kind of like this, and when you hook it up to a phone or something for streaming, and the point is to use it as a USB mic. Sorry for all the noises you're probably hearing as I move this around. There's an option to choose 44.1 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. And I've tried it both ways. It has to do with, like the sampling rate or something, right? And when I record for like my computer to like make videos and stuff, it's 44.1 that it's recorded, but of course it doesn't have that option that pops up because it only pops up when you actually hook it up to like a phone to use as a USB mic or to a computer directly to record straight into a computer, which I don't do. I record it on an SD card and then transfer it. But when I'm doing live like this, it does work as a USB mic. And sometimes I'll do 44.1 and it works, right? Like it's working now. And sometimes I'll use 48 and it works right. And sometimes the alternative makes me either sound really high like I have helium and like that, or really low when I'm talking slow and deep. And it's like, so it's not my voice. So it's either like too high or too low if I don't get whatever that current day's, kilohertz rate is. If that makes sense. But my question is, I don't know why it changes. Like, wouldn't it be the same? So I always thought it was 48, but then I realized that sometimes that's not even the case. So I don't know. Who knows? I do know that I need some more coffee, so take care of that right now before we start. How's everyone doing? Hey Rashad. Hi Paul. TGI Friday, right? Oh man, long week. Let me move this up a little bit more. Molly, are you saying hi too? Let's see, I can't even move this over. Come on, go down. Hello, Molly. That yellow thing over there is Molly's little wipey towel, so when she comes in from outside, I wipey. Molly, what are you gonna do? You gonna stay down here, or are you gonna go upstairs and find Stella? So she usually, in the morning, like hangs out with, Stella usually gets out of bed a little bit before I do, and then, she gets up a little before I do, but Molly won't go downstairs with her. She'll stay with me in the bed, and then later on, like when I come out, then when I get up, then she'll come out with me. But then she'll hang out with Stella upstairs, either in her office or just outside in the hallway or something, all day, and she kind of just, whatever. Oh, here she goes right now. She's walking away. Molly, goodbye. You gonna go upstairs? Bye-bye. Go, go. Go. Like, go up. Now you do what you want. All right, whatever. So anyway, yeah, she usually hangs out. She's going to, I'll examine the neighborhood, make sure everything is okay. Okay. Yeah, so she usually hangs out. Oh, becoming the Molly show. She gonna go back up? What are you gonna do? You gonna go upstairs? No? This is the Molly show this morning. Well, we need a little bit of a dog in the morning. Hello. Hello, what are you gonna do? Boop, boop. High five. Okay. All right, so today is another Friday, and today we're doing a PPC. Everyone knows what a PPC is. Hey, Aaron. Oh, there's not too much ideas to poach from me. I'm trying to learn here too, but if you have any ideas, let me know. Oh, what's what? Rashad, no, what's that? What's what? I can't even remember what I just said. You'll have to refresh me here. Oh, PPC. Oh, PPC, Practice Piano with Charlie. That's these things, yeah. So basically, PPC is a series where basically I'll sometimes, not always on Fridays, some Fridays, not all Fridays, but whenever I feel like it, we'll do one of these. And this is basically a super low-key, literally practice session. I'm practicing the piano. People hang out here. You know, they're chatting, asking questions. I'm playing lots of wrong notes and counting ledger lines. And yeah, it's just basically like an interactive practice session. So I'm just practicing the piano. So there's a lot of wrong notes. It doesn't sound nice. Audio quality is unedited. It's just, you know, no reverb, no anything. It's just, you know. By the way, when I start, let me know how the audio is, if it's maxing out or not. I think it did last time, but it sounded good for you guys. So as long as it sounds good, because if it's too low, then you can't hear my voice. If it's too high, then you don't want that. So anyway, yeah, PPC is just Practice Piano with Charlie. And it's a great way to get watch hours, you know, for the all-important YouTube algorithm. But also it's, I think some people, it's a very kind of a niche kind of a video, right? Most people aren't gonna go back and watch, you know, 2 hours of me practicing the piano and rambling like this. But for some people, I've got feedback. I think that, you know, they like it and they hear different ways that I approach problem areas and they can use it. So it's kind of like it's like a master class, but for myself. I'm giving me my own master class. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, things that are new, not too much. Being real busy with YouTube. This stuff takes a ton of time. I mean, I'm working all day on this stuff a lot of the time. Recording from setting up for recording. I try to pump out several recordings at once because just setting up for one recording takes a long time. From getting the mic levels right to getting all the lighting right to getting, not for this. This takes a little bit less time. Still takes some, but you know, getting the cameras. I got the little moving moving track thing the other day. The first one I got actually was broken. So I had to return it and they sent me a new one. And that one seems to work well. So I, you know, trying out positions. So I recorded a few videos. I don't know if any of the ones I recorded using that are up, because I record kind of ahead of time. So, and if you see me typing here during the thing, it'll oftentimes be if I start a new piece, I'll put a timestamp on so people watching later can just click on it. That way I don't have to go back later and find exactly how many minutes and seconds in a piece started. But I'm trying to see what I released already. Oh, my last Practice Piano with Charlie, I got copyright claimed on by some ridiculous copyright thing because apparently, what was it? They thought I played Sparky's Magic Piano, which was really Rachmaninoff. So Sony, ATV Publishing, Solar Music Rights Management said that I played copyrighted material, even though it was something that was it? Let me see, what was it? Oh yeah, it was Rachmaninoff. So they thought Rachmaninoff was Sparky's Magic Piano. Yeah, so they thought Rachmaninoff was Sparky's Magic Piano and then I copied it off of someone. So I disputed that review and now it takes 30 days for them to go over that. So that's just wonderful, but enough of the ranting about that. So I was looking for if I released any of the videos with, I don't think I released any of the videos with the actual moving dolly, but you'll see it eventually. Yeah, I edited a bunch of those videos yesterday. So I have like several videos I've uploaded but are still not released yet. And then that way I don't have to like record one and edit one every single day. I can record a bunch one day, edit it that day or another day, spend time uploading it and doing all the dumb tags and stuff, and then spamming Facebook and YouTube and stuff. And Facebook doesn't like me using YouTube because they want you to use it's just anyway. It's coming together. And the channel's growing a little bit. I think we have 3.4 thousand subscribers, 3,400. That's good. That's more than it was before, so we'll keep it going. Oh, you need a studio, Charlie. I do need a studio. We should start a GoFundMe. Give me money. That's a good idea. Yeah, I don't want to leave cameras and stuff set up in my living room because it just looks ugly. But it's not, it's not too bad, but it takes time. So like I try to like clump together doing like recording. So I'll try to record 3 or 4 or 5 videos at once. And then eventually edit them and eventually, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. And then, but it takes, it's amazing how much time this takes. Like people who do, it's like a full-time deal, but it's fun. And it's, it's something that I wasn't able to really do when I was traveling a lot more. And traveling, I've talked about this briefly, traveling was something that it was kind of burning me out for a while. And so even before COVID and all this stuff hit the world, I was like actively kind of reducing what I was doing in terms of traveling, because I was just on the road too much. It was mentally exhausting and draining, and it was physically exhausting and draining, and so I'm trying to work-life balance. Need a studio, Charlie is smiling. Okay, yeah. So today, other things that are new. Next week, I'm going to be judging a competition. That'll be fun. It'll be from home. So instead of actually going to the place and like listening to people live play, because of the situation in the world right now, we are going to be. I get a bajillion links sent to me, and then I have to write up things and then pick winners and stuff. So that'll be kind of neat. I'm sure you have lots of spare time at the moment, like the rest of us, not allowed to do or go anywhere. It's actually interesting. In some ways, I feel like I'm busier now than when I was traveling. It doesn't make much sense, but it feels like that. Like the amount of like people always wonder, oh, how much do you practice and stuff? I try to practice every day, maybe not weekends now. I kind of try to block off weekends a little bit, but like. So much of what I do is, and even before I started kind of pushing the YouTube thing, it was online and computer and emails and scheduling and stuff like that. That like, I always joke that like most of my job is spent in front of my computer screens, like up in my office, like in my desk. It's really kind of weird and counterintuitive, but I feel like almost like during this whole year, I've been about as busy or maybe sometimes even more busy than when I was like actively traveling. Not when I was like traveling, like doing the 4 hours a day driving a concert every day, those tours, not like that, but like normal. Because then you'd focus more on the concerts and the, preparing for the next piece, and you kind of just do one kind of focus thing at a time with a kind of a long-term eye of, I need to learn a new piece I never played. But in terms of things coming up, if there's things you've played before, you just kind of like work toward whatever's coming up in the next concert or two. But now it's so much more like now it's, not only the practicing and like learning new pieces, because there's not really very many things scheduled, right? That you're spending a lot of time like learning pieces, but also, you're spending a lot of time learning pieces, that is, but also like with like this YouTube push, it's just exhausting. Like it's like tons of work, but it's fun. It's because it's different. And it's neat to see when people like respond and stuff. Like, we have a bunch of people watching now. That's cool. It's a Friday in the daytime, and having a bunch of people like you guys like hanging out with me while I practice. There we go. We can monetize practice time with ad revenue. That's the YouTube way, I guess, for the algorithm, or using the algorithm. Anyway, let's get to it, folks. But anyways, it's fun, but it's a lot of work, but it's kind of neat because it's a different way. And this has the potential to, like get to more people than even like concerts do. A lot of times when I release a video, if one does well, right now it's, a few hundred. if it does really well. But you know, that's a small concert hall. You know, even the world's largest concert halls are what, 1,500, 2,000, if you think about it. So like being able to reach, you know, a few hundred people on videos regularly, or even 100 or something regularly. I think depends on the video. Some of my videos don't do well, some do better, and it has to do with timing and content, all kinds of stuff. And the algorithm. But like, you know, be able to like get out to people, you know, more often maybe is kind of neat. You know, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's neat. And it has a lot of potential to grow further, you know, past even the size of a concert hall, you know, maybe. We'll see. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. A lot of work, but a lot of fun. But I'm glad it's Friday. I need more coffee. All right, so today we're going to be, so last week we did a whole bunch of stuff. Last week we did, so let me know how the voice level is. This is kind of like a normal, speaking out loud, a little bit louder than normal kind of a voice that I'll talk in. But also let me know when I start playing if the music clips, if it's too loud, where it is. So last week we did, let's see, we did Rachmaninoff, we did blah, 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 brain freeze, Liszt, Liebestraum, whatever. We did, what's number 3? We did Schumann, was it Schumann? Yeah, the Schumann Handel variations? No, is it Schumann or Schubert? I can't remember. It's been a long week. Where is it? Oh, neither of them. Brahms Handel variation. And we also did some of the Schumann Concerto. That's where I'm getting Schumann from. So we might do a little bit of that. I'm not sure if we'll get to all of this stuff today. So I hope you all pick up your cup of coffee. I'm having Kirkland's Finest from Costco. All that good stuff. And we actually might do some, let's start with something kind of lighter. This is a piece that I've played maybe once in public. And I still don't know the notes very well. Oops, wrong one. Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is. Oh, wrong one again. Oh, there it is. Does anyone know that song, by the way? Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. That's a good song. Old days. Pop? Rap? I don't know. All right, I'm going to flip my chair around. People ask why I do that sometimes. Chairs kind of go like this. And when you sit on the edge of one, because I sit on the edge, and a lot of people do, it eventually starts going down a little bit, and then if you flip it around, then you get the upper end on the front, which I like. Anyway. Okay. Let's play this piece first. Let me tag the time now so I don't forget. So we're like 18 minutes in of setting up and rambling and whatnot. Timestamps. Let's see. 18. All right, let's do a little bit of this. I won't even tell you guys what it is. You can figure it out. You can guess like a game. All right. Again, this is a piece that I played once a long time ago, I think. And I started playing it a couple times this week or so, but it's a very much learning the notes kind of a thing. I can't talk today. I just have to learn the notes. Learn the notes, Charlie, learn the notes. I know most of the notes, not all of the notes. Oh, they are the right notes, just not in the right place. Story, yeah. That's like the story of a lot of my playing. I play a lot of the notes. They're just not in the right place at the right time, right? What was it Rachmaninoff said? Like, he dropped so many notes that he could write a new cadenza, or he missed so many notes that he could write a new concerto with the notes that he misplayed. Yeah. Yes, he does. Oh wait, entitled Roboto, so tasteful musical, you may use wrong notes something. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. That's very kind. We're gonna work on it though. Gotta work on it. Oh, you guys. I have to scroll up. Good. I love the comments. Okay. Clair de Lune. Clair de Lune Debussy, beautiful composition. Oh, it's a beautiful composition, Elizabeth. Love that last arpeggio for the waves came in. Oh, that one. Okay, we can. I'll kind of work my way through it. Eben, tighter bottom, so tasteful music, you make the raw notes sound beautiful. Oh, thank you. Yes, he does. They're the right notes, John in the right place. Yeah, Mr. W. Okay, so let's work this. Clair de Lune. So the first part, I think I have most of the notes for. So let's start with the beginning, and we'll kind of figure out what we need to do. What does consordina mean? Consordina definition. Let's look it up. With dampers. Well, duh. Who would play this without dampers? I guess you could finger legato. It doesn't have that aura. A lot of the things aren't so much the notes you're playing directly, but like the reverberations of all the other notes, right? Okay, let's take a look. Let's work through the beginning here, folks. Balance is important in this piece. So even when you're playing two notes, you want to bring out so the important part is, right? And with this piece being so slow, you really need those long lines. If you break into too many small little truncated pieces, they'll just feel bad. One long line there. It just goes forever. It goes, you know. Keeps going. So you don't want to break it up into little bits because then it will become like chop, chop, chop. And that'll sound, you know. It loses, if you chop it up too much, I think it loses its long singingness of it, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, one more last time, we're gonna move on. Keep going. Even when the notes aren't moving, you wanna keep the music moving. So this part, where you have all these big chords, again, balance. And it's not just the top note, but also the bottom note, which is on the bottom of these chords. flat, Charlie. B flat and then A flat. Okay, one more time that page. Even a soundtrack punctured with this wonderful written eudos. Oh, thank you. The written eudos. I mean, a lot of it's interpretive, right? There's not one way to do it, right? Some people play a little bit more straightforward. Some people play even more like rubato and slowing down and stuff. I mean, a lot of it's subjective. It's art. What are we gonna do about it? All right, just gotta do it the way you think you should do it, and hopefully try to be convincing. I mean, there are probably wrong ways, but some ways maybe are more right than others, but you can get away with a lot. And that's part of the fun of art, is that you can kind of put your own stamp on it a little bit, within reason. Within reason. Okay, one more time that page. So the main melody here is try again. And then you have that kind of secondary melody that comes in, right? Yeah, the waves. So we want the wavy part. We'll call it the wavy part. Wavy needs more coffee. It's a pretty piece, right? It's one of those like super famous ones. Even people who don't know anything about classical music probably have heard this piece somewhere. Yeah. Probably for good reason too. Let me actually spread this out. That way I won't have to change the page. Slow practice it. Actually, that gives me an idea for another teaching piano, learn piano. Let me write it down so I forget. Slow practice. I don't think I had a video on slow practice. You made like a bajillion videos on slow practice. Wait, where is my little learn to play? Oh, slow practicing. Write that down. Good idea for a video. Oh, today, you know what's coming today? Complete side note, our new Jetson bikes. So you guys probably have seen, actually let me pull it up if we have it. Do you guys remember those Jetson electric bicycles? They're like scooters, they're not really bikes, they didn't have any pedals. That Stella and I zipped around on. Jetson, bicycle, scooter. I'm trying to look at my videos, I don't know where they are. Remember those Jetson bikes? We got them from Costco. One of them had like a jiggly handle. Anyways, we returned that and we ordered another set from Costco. And these ones are slightly different. These ones have pedals. So, oh, coffee is finished being warmed. Let me see if I can figure out where it is. This would have been under like a vlog, I think. And so those come today. So I'm kind of excited. We probably aren't gonna like, oh here's one video of it. I'll post the link. Some of you might have seen it already. Boop. Yeah, that's so those are like they're like little electric scooters, but this one, the newer ones have like pedals too, so you can ride them as an electric scooter. You can ride them as like a pedal electric assist bicycle. So scooter only is like 15 miles, and they go like 15 miles an hour. They go really fast. With pedal is like 30, and then I guess you can ride them as like a normal bike too, with no assist at all. So that's actually kind of cool. And Molly loves them. Why does it sound jazzy when slow? Oh, because I'm slow practicing it. It doesn't. This is normal. But what I'm doing is I'm doing what I call slow practice. So basically, I mean, that's technically slow practice too, a type of it. But slow practice is when you like rip it apart and do different things. And some of the things you can do is like odd rhythms, like short, long, or long, short. It's a good way to get things even, which might be kind of counterintuitive, but it seems to work for me. So long, short. You can use this for anything, and then short, long. Yeah, it's not written like that. So we've got now. That stuck out like it was like a gunshot. That's way too loud. Those notes are a little uncomfortable with me. Keep it even. You don't want notes together. Okay, so one more time that section. It's getting better. This part's a little uncomfortable, clearly, the notes. Fingering, Charlie. Fingering is I don't like fingering. My take on fingering is generally, so my take on fingering is kind of this. You don't want to hurt yourself, right? Like tighten up too much. I mean, you don't want to be tight, period. And you also don't want to be like tense, like anywhere. Hands, wrists, fingers, arms, all that stuff, shoulders. So as long as as long as the fingering doesn't mess with, you being loosey-goosey, right? And not hurting. You also don't want to like be in pain. I mean, if you're playing something and you're tense and or you're in pain, stop and figure out what's wrong and like fix it. Otherwise, you could cause like serious permanent damage, right? Don't just force your way through it. You can like cause permanent damage if you do that. So PSA, folks, if you're playing the piano or anything and you're tense and or in pain, stop, figure out what's wrong, and fix it. Fix the problem. Don't just play through pain and or tenseness. But anyways, as long as you're not in pain and or tense, or as long as you're not in pain and as long as you're not tense, and your fingering doesn't screw with how it sounds, like, you know, if you're playing a scale, like, that's not good fingering. You can't just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, because it's just gonna hop, hop, hop in it, like, it creates hiccups. You don't want that, right? Like, if you're playing this piece and you're like, you know, that obviously that your fingering might be wrong. I mean, I played pretty normal fingering that time, but you get the point. If it's creating hiccups or interfering with the music, then you should probably work on your fingering too. But if it doesn't like do those things, so if your fingering doesn't make you hurt, and your fingering doesn't make you be tense, and so if your fingering doesn't make you in pain, if your fingering doesn't make you tense, and if your fingering doesn't affect the music in a bad way, then who cares what fingering you use, I think. That's my opinion. Some people are like, oh, you have to use this fingering no matter what. Nah, whatever. Okay, let's go back to this part. Oh, no notes though. Of fingering being okay. Let's try again. Yeah, very fun. Hello, friend. Hey, Ryan. All right. This part. Can you hear the counter melody? I got to bring more of the bass out. So we got the top going. Hand. So you got this. Right? So it's kind of like, but it's like slower. So it's actually like foreshadowing what's coming, because you got and then right after the right hand goes. Foreshadowing. If that's the right literary term, I don't know. E, Charlie, E, darn it. Nope. It actually starts at the beginning here too, but it goes up. Two notes at a time. I think I should do like 5-3 there. Yeah, 5-4 doesn't work. It's too awkward. I mean, it could work, but it's not very secure. another top, and then the secondary melody is sorry. Maybe it ends up at D. I can't play the piano. Yeah, see that? Counter melodies. We're doing a lot of counter melodies today. Just a question, do you sometimes feel like, well, stuff the correct notes going into improv mode? Well, stuff. Is stuff code word for a 4-letter F word? I know YouTube, yeah, don't use the 4-letter F word. YouTube they'll probably get mad. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, there's some times where, okay, you're gonna lead me into another rant. I don't think all notes are created equal. There, I said it. But let me explain. A note can be important in different pieces, but in a given piece, not all notes are equally important. That's just the way it is, right? Like if you're playing, if you're playing, right? I'm gonna play a wrong note. Okay, you probably didn't even hear it, right? Because I played. What did I play? I don't even remember what I played wrong. It was something in the left hand. I played a wrong note in the left hand. No one even noticed because it's not that important. It's accompaniment, it's quieter, it's like harmony. So if you miss one, it's like, I mean, it's not great, but it's not awful. But if I did, yeah, it sticks out more. Or not all notes are created equal. Some are more, yeah, Rashad, it still sounds like itself. If you're playing, melodies are often important. Sometimes deep bass notes, like sometimes the bass line or harmony thing can be important. It just depends where and when and stuff like that. But not all notes are important. So sometimes, yeah, if I learned a wrong note, I'll try to maybe fix it, and sometimes I don't really care sometimes. Yeah, the first time sounds like itself, second time not. Yeah. David, hi Charlie, so many times I see you. How are you? I'm doing good, David. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Thank you for asking. All right. Let's see. Let's get back to this part. Where was it? Okay, so this, the counter melodies. We're almost done with this one. The lines are too short. More long lines, Charlie. Oh, wrong note. A flat, Charlie. Now this, I didn't hear that enough. All right. I think we made some progress. My teacher used to say the printed score is but an indication of the intention of the composer. I like that. There's some people that are very, very, very all about playing exactly what's on the page, exactly all of the time, no questions asked. I'm a little more loosey-goosey on that matter than some people, but the what's written down is ultimately a translation, right? Like music is it's a good way to, it's like a representation. It's a representation, like scores are a representation of music. Just like theory is trying to make music kind of into a scientific, logical thing. And music is, and sometimes it works for theory. Oh, Siri's getting crazy. Theory sometimes works for explaining music in some parts of it, not always. Scores it's like lost in translation, right? Like when you translate things from like English to Korean or something, like it can lose certain nuances and stuff that just don't come through in the words, even though you're literally translating words. Like maybe cultural references or whatever. And the same goes, I'm sure, for almost any language. And same with music and scores probably, right? You can't exactly say exactly what you want in at least the way scores are written today. I mean, there might be ways to make scores even more accurate, but ultimately, like the music itself, like a recording is a great way to show maybe how you think it should be played, at least on that particular day that you recorded it. Much more than any amount of writing in rubatos and retardandos and ritenutos and crescendos and decrescendos and all of those musical term things, and staccatos and all those things, all those musical term things into music. You could write all those you want all day long, but it still is up like how much, and yeah, that kind of a thing. So yeah, I like that. The print score is by an indication of the intention of the composer. I like that, Elizabeth. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you have to. That's where the musician comes in, is like to put his or her perspective into the music, right? Lovely, the calm sets in after the gust of wind stirred up, that gust we've stirred up from the floating leaves. Oh, very nice. Non-repeated, the wind part makes me a little scared from the uncertainty. Bravo, thank you. You're playing exactly what's in the page. Sometimes the composer published a later version with some modifications. Yeah, I mean, things differ. And even when I play pieces that I've played for years, I'll play them different over long periods of time. Like if I listen to how I play something now versus how I played it 10 years ago, it's very different, or it can be different. And if I play the same piece every single day, it might be a little different too, depending on the piano and the audience and the place and how I'm feeling that day and all that. That's what makes live music exciting. And I think that applies to a lot of musicians and stuff. Like if you listen to how someone plays a piece at different times, it'll probably sound a little different. Some people, though, I think some people, so a lot of people, I think will change their interpretation and the way they play, even day to day and over long periods of time. I think some people, there are some people, though, I think that play it exactly the same every time. Like you could hear some, like if it's that kind of a player, a musician, Some musicians will like play it identical every time, like it's like a recording, like exactly the same. I don't know how they do it, and I'm not a big, I don't think that's necessarily. I mean, it's very exact and precise, and and perfect, but I think if it's too perfected, it also loses something. So you might gain, in perfecting technique and exact everything, but if it's exactly the same all the time, it kind of loses a little bit of that liveliness, excitement, improvisatory feeling, maybe. I don't know. Even if it's a piece that's written down, I don't know. I think this scores more an indication on a prison, or maybe I'm being too Baroque on this. Haha. No, I think I like that too. An indication on a prison. You'd be surprised though, not being too Baroque. Some people who are like Bach people, Bach people, we all know those types, the Bach people. Some people are very literal, like, oh, Bach didn't have on his harpsichord. There was no pedal. So God forbid you use a pedal when you're playing on a piano 400 years later. I think that's. I don't agree with that. I think you should use pedal in Bach. I think it should be like tasteful, right? Like it shouldn't sound, it sounds terrible. But I think that you can, I think people can and should use pedal in everything that they play on the piano, because that's one of the things in the piano, and you want to maximize its ability. But there's people that will disagree with me on that, and that's fine. That's fine if they disagree. To each his own, right? But yeah, there's some like Bach people that are very exact. I mean, you cannot use pedal, and so in that way, they can be very exact and wanting to follow exactly what's written on the score. And of course, like Bach didn't even have tempos, so I mean, there's a lot of interpretation there. So I guess you could say the Baroque example could go either way. I don't know. But I agree. A score isn't like a literal thing that you have to follow every single thing all the time. And there's also different editions, right? Like editors will come in and they'll like put different suggestions in. I usually get urtext versions, so it's oftentimes the Henley Verlag, the blue ones, because they're like pretty urtext. I don't know. I don't really care so much about editions and stuff, but I just got in the habit of buying these. I think my Miss Pyun kind of started me on just getting these versions of things whenever possible. Or at least I started when I was studying with Miss Pyun. They're expensive though. Like this Schumann Concerto is like $38.95 plus tax and shipping and all that stuff. They're not cheap. Rashid, to me, is still gentle, non-threatening, with a clear transition towards common at the end, but I can see where that could be, especially following a calmer section. Isn't it wondering how it's different things in the same music? Yep. If music be the food of love, play on. I like food. Haha, the Bach people. Haha, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, you do. There's the Bach people. And there's the Bach people. I like Bach. He's not my favorite composer, but I like Baroque music. I don't listen to a lot of classical music in general on my own time, unless it's something like I'm studying or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a musicologist. I don't ever see myself calling myself a musicologist. Of course, who knows in the future, but I don't consider myself a musicologist. I don't think I ever will, but who knows? I reserve the right to change my opinions and what I call myself. But like a musicologist, like the stereotypical musicologist is a very, very, so musicology is like, I think it's like just like the study of music and stuff, right? But it's not like from a performance basis usually. Usually it's from a very academic basis. So a lot of musicologists will have like PhDs, not like an artist diploma or a DMA. They'll oftentimes PhD. There are musicologists that that don't have a PhD and then that do have like a DMA or something, for example. But generally, I think PhDs are generally musicologists a lot of the time, and it's an interest. I mean, not interesting to me. It's not interesting to me. I wouldn't want to write a 50-page, 100-page, thing on one Beethoven sonata and analyzing why he wrote this 4-measure passage the way he did. And And some of it, you know, is probably good. Some of it might be a little bit, you know, a little bit like trying to find meaning where there is none. You know, it's like those things you can, if you dig deep enough into anything, you can try to extrapolate meaning from stuff that maybe there isn't any in. Like maybe the composer didn't really think about, you know, the mirroring of what's happening historically and putting that in that little piece, and that's why he wrote a B flat instead of a B natural there or something. I'm just making stuff up, but you know what I'm saying. Like you can, I think it's easy to, in general, like not just music, to find meaning where sometimes there isn't any, and to try to, yeah. I'm not a big fan of trying to find meaning where there isn't any, if that makes sense. Anyway, to musicology people, cousins to the Bach people, sometimes the same people. I have to credit your worst of perfection is matched by your technical skill. Oh, well, thank you. Anyways, yeah, I'm not a musicologist. Some people are really into that stuff. Good for them. It's just not my interest. I'm not a musicologist. Okay, let's do, you know, let's do a little bit of the Schumann. This is also really rough. Last week we only did a few pages of it, and I've been kind of poking at it a little bit. The Schumann Concerto. I still haven't listened to a recording of it since that one time I listened to the first movement of Martha Argerich. I don't even think I've heard the entire thing played through. But yeah. Very cool, very cool. What does this thing do? What do all these buttons do here? Oh, you can do custom emojis. Very cool. Okay. What's this thing do? All right. Cool. What's the next timestamp here? We spent a long time on Clair de Lune. Timestamp 103. I'll say 104, which would be 6400. And this will be Schumann Concerto, number, I don't know, he only had one. An A minor, movement 1. Okay, I'm doing the timestamps here again. One musicologist on YouTube plays almost every piece in half the speed, and he makes many videos trying to justify this original tempo theory. I mean, that's fine. Again, to each his own, right? I don't want to, you know, if you're really into that, super. I think that, you know, I might make a video on this too. I think I wrote it down as a video idea. I'm not the type of person who likes to even talk about music all that much. Surprisingly. Hang on, I think I wrote this down. No, maybe not. A similar thing. I don't usually like talking about music. Like, some people can like literally like talk. I'm talking about talk about music. Like they like gathering with people and like talking about, oh, this Beethoven concerto, you know, and that second movement, and then they go into detail and talking, and you know. I'm not that type of person. I never found talking about music very interesting. I like playing music. Talking about it, not so much. Borat reference, not so much. Is it Borat? I think it's Borat. Not so much. Talking about it, not so much. I like playing it. I like talking about other stuff. I love to talk. I mean, you guys who know me either through YouTube or through live. You know, I like talking to people. I chatted up with like everyone. I'm at the store, or at the airport. I like talking to people about all kinds of stuff. I loved in college talking to people about everything from, you know, what they're working on. Like, the neat thing about like at Harvard is like everyone lives in dorms. I mean, not now because of COVID and stuff, but normal times. You live in dorms and you're like surrounded by people who are really passionate about all kinds of stuff. So I was really into music, but there was other people who were really into like bio, and people who were really into like politics, and people who were really into like literature and like stuff that I didn't know too much about oftentimes. And you end up talking to people about all these things, and it's so cool to see people who are passionate about whatever they're passionate about and learning from them and stuff like that, different perspectives. That's cool. I don't like talking with other musicians about music though. I think that's boring. Yeah. They say that Wagner's music is better than it sounds. Very good, very good. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this Schumann. Actually, let me update the timestamp because I ended up rambling on again. It's 6 now, so I'll say, boop, I'll say 67. Did I type that in right? Yes, I did. You know, Charlie, the reason I've been following you for these past few years is because you play from the heart, and I imagine you play each piece according to how you feel in the moment. Well, thank you, Paganini. I try to play it. I try to play music the way I feel that, you know, it should be, and it does change. People know that if you listen to different recordings of me, I play things differently, and it is different depending on how I feel in the moment, and depending on the piano I'm playing on, and the place I'm playing at, and the people I'm playing for, and you know, and I think that's one of the neat things about live music. It's not perfect. It's not, you know, it's subjective. Yeah, that's one of the great and lousy things about music, subjectivity of it. Some people agree with you, some people say, that's all wrong. So you want to try to be at least convincing. I've talked about like that story of that one competition I was in years ago where one judge after I got kicked out of like the semifinals or something, said that one piece should be played this one way, like a military march, the Chopin Winter Wind Etude. And the other person, a few minutes later, another judge heard the same thing, was like, it's not a military march, and it shouldn't be played that way. You know, ultimately you can't please everyone, so you have to like do it how you think it should be done, and hopefully make it convincing. And of course, you know, you can take consideration, you can consider other people's opinions and stuff, but ultimately, you can't please everyone. So you have to try to be as convincing as you can with the way you think it should be done. Stella actually sent me a funny thing. So she works at Microsoft, and it was like a funny thing about like feedback. And this particular one wasn't from Microsoft, but I think it was like just like a meme on the internet. It was like Da Vinci's Mona Lisa, right? Let's see if I can find it. Anyway, it was like, and it had like suggestions, like it was like an email to dear Leonardo, like please take these things into consideration, or here's some feedback on your thing. And it had the picture of Mona Lisa, and it was all like drawn over with like, you know, like handwritten things like, is she sitting or standing? I can't really tell. The background's a little bland. Do you think we could add some fireworks? Oh, Carol from accounting feels that, you know, the eyes are following her. And it was all these like hilarious remarks about one of the greatest pieces of art that people collectively view as of one of the most collectively viewed greatest pieces of art. That is, I don't know if I'm saying that right. The art is, you know, it's collectively viewed as one of the greatest pieces of art ever, right? And it's all these like hilarious comments of how it should be improved. And of course, like it would ruin it if you did all that stuff. But it's just hilarious. You know, everyone has opinion about how it should be, and a lot of times the opinions contradict each other. Music doesn't have to be perfect. It has to move the listener. Ideally, it does move the listener in some way. It has to. You want your music to touch someone in some way. Emotionally, right? Like making them happy, sad, feel something, say something, communicate in some way. That is. Something like that. Okay. Alrighty. I gotta update the timestamp again, because every time I start doing this, I end up talking. 1:10. What is that, 70 minutes? Yes. You can't put like 1:10, otherwise YouTube doesn't recognize it. All these little things you have to do things with. Okay, so again, this is very new. Especially as I go on. But let's see if I can get through the first movement. It's going to slow down considerably as I go on. But again, this is new. Let's try that again. Again. This has one of the really pretty melodies. A minor. Page flip just in time. Oh yeah. Sometimes it just works out. Like when you hit all the green lights. might end up improvising, but also on the one they have here first. Play the whole first movement now. A simple movie thing. I feel a challenge coming on. Thank you. Yeah, isn't that almost sound like a movie theme? The theme of this thing. So it goes. The violin playing it. Maybe even more the second theme. It's a little different, right? It goes this one. It could almost be like a movie theme for like The Notebook or something. Maybe we maybe I could. What if I did a thing? So this piece is obviously very new, and I'm not actually scheduled to play it, but it's a famous piece that I might end up getting to play, hopefully someday. So 90 minutes. I'm typing out another thing. Okay, so let's try a movie music style improvisation on that theme. So the theme is. So let's do a movie music style improv on that. But first, coffee. What's that emoticon? Oh, it's a little hat. I was like saying I saw improv and then I saw 3 things, but I didn't. It's like a party hat. This is a good time to remind everyone who hasn't to smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. I know I ramble on and on about this, but apparently, the more you say it, people actually do it. So if you've already done it and always do those things, thank you, and I'm sorry for being a broken record, but we want to, I don't even think I'm going to make it that complicated, because movie music is usually not all that complicated, like the love theme things, right? Okay, let's try. Oh, how is the levels? Are the levels okay? No, that's probably okay. like that, right? Doesn't that sound like a movie music? Doesn't that sound like a movie music, kind of? I think so. I think it kind of does. Oh, magic. Thank you. You remind me of the theme of Paganini concertos using a very old movie theme. It's the first slow theme from the first concerto, first movement. What's that? How does that one go? The other one, I don't know what key it's in. I played it before, the Paganini Variations. That was famous. I think it was too, Rashad. I can't remember what was the Rachmaninoff or Paganini? Oh, Concerto, the Paganini Concerto. Oh, I was getting confused with Rachmaninoff because that what I put was from the Rachmaninoff Paganini variation. So Rachmaninoff made piano like a concerto based on what was it called? So that is the Rachmaninoff Paganini variations. There's like a solo piano version, I think, but the famous. Well, I mean, they're both famous, but the concerto one is with orchestra. I played it before with orchestra. It's a hard one to play with orchestra. It's a set of variations, but it's like a kind of concerto. I was getting confused, David, with that Paganini Concerto. What is that Paganini Concerto? I don't know the Paganini Concerto. Does anyone play that piece? I haven't really heard it. Concerto. Oh, the violin concerto. That's probably why I haven't played that piece, because it's not for piano. How does that main part go? Hang on, let me hear. The slow part. Let's see. How's it go? I don't know. Anyway, Paganini Concerto. Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. I don't know that one, but I also don't play violin. Oh yeah, the violin concerto. Hi, yeah. So this is what your info told me. He entered the room, the old library his great-grandfather had set up years ago. I think the movie was Somewhere in Time. Oh, maybe it was. I didn't see that one. Streamlight gently floods the far corner, spectators dancing in a subtle rays, stops, looks around, his eyes finally set on the framed photograph sitting on top of the piano. Very cool. Very descriptive with words. I'm not very good with words. A gentle smile frames his lips. He approaches slowly, almost reaching out, and almost without weariness, the smile turns to pensive sadness, memories returning. All right, I'm not good with I mean writing. I'm not like a bad writer, but like in terms of like descriptive writing, that's not my forte. So people that are really good with it, it's really cool. How's the mic level, everyone? Is it okay? That's why I saw while you were playing. Oh, thank you, Paganini. Non ripete. Mic good. Okay, good. Let me check the mic. Well, Max is out, but as long as it sounds not clippy on your guys' end, that's fine. Charlie, did you miss my comment? The movie you're thinking is probably Groundhog Day. Oh, I must have missed your comment. Sorry. Let me scroll. Oh, is it still? Let me go mute this too. Yeah, I must have missed it. Sorry. Oh, I see it now. Groundhog Day. Wait, so that's the one that was which one? The Paganini variations? The Rachmaninoff variation? Da 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 da. Oh yeah. Oh, isn't Groundhog Day a comedy? Isn't Groundhog Day a comedy? Isn't it the one where the guy keeps waking up over and over again on Groundhog Day and it keeps repeating? Yeah. Okay, yeah. The movies are the same. Is where the same day keeps repeating. Oh, I didn't know it was in that movie. Isn't that a comedy? It'd be a weird song to have in a comedy. I don't know. Maybe not. I think I've seen that movie a long time ago, but I don't remember it at all. Yeah, very funny. Okay, yeah, it is a comedy. Is Adam Sandler in that one? No. Not Adam Sandler, right? I don't know. I like Adam Sandler movies. I think they're funny. I like funny movies. Do you guys like funny? Oh, Murray. Okay. Do you guys like funny? What kind of movies do you guys watch? People sometimes ask me what kind of movies I watch. I don't like depressing, sad stuff. Bill Murray. I like comedy, sci-fi, a good sci-fi movie. You know, like Minority Report. That kind of like good, well-made. Sci-fi can either be really good or really bad. There's like not much in the middle. It's either good or it sucks. You know what I mean? There's like no middle ground with sci-fi. I like good sci-fi movies. I like comedy movies. I like just like to be able to like not, you know, just to laugh and have fun and like I mean I it's not that I don't like it's not that like movies that are really like deep aren't good. You know, and sometimes I'll enjoy watching a deep good movie that is really touching and sad, but generally all in all I don't want to like watch a movie and then get sad generally. But occasionally I do like a good, you know, sad one too. Have you guys seen The Pianist? That was a good movie. I saw that when I was like a kid. Still remember it was a good movie. Very sad. Did I release the Schindler's List thing yet? I recorded Schindler's List. Have I released it? I did one for Schindler's List. Speaking of The Pianist, reminding me of that kind of time period and other music and movies that represent that. Let me take a look. Content. It's not loading very fast. Okay, come on. Load content, YouTube. Content. Load. I say load. It's pooping out. Yeah, The Pianist was a good movie. Well, YouTube does not. Oh, here we go. Did I release Schindler's List? Improving. I have a whole bunch of stuff that well, not a whole bunch. I have some stuff I've recorded. Oh no, I haven't released Schindler's List yet. That's coming. That's coming. Schindler's List. That's a pretty piece. I did a recording of Schindler's List. I'll probably come out next week then. So, as I take a quick break before we move on to something else. Did you guys see the new Tesla announcement? Oh man, I saw the pictures of his new Model X. I want one so bad. I want. The redesign looks really, really good. Does anyone out here have a Tesla? They announced it like, I think it was an earnings call or something. It was this past week. They refreshed it because the S and the X are they're the expensive ones, right? So they have like the 3 and the Y, which are cheaper, and then they have the S and the X, which are the bigger versions of the car and SUV. And well, I guess you can kind of think of it like that, right? So like S is the first one, that's the big car, and they also have an X, which is a big SUV, and they have a 3, which is a smaller car, and a Y, which is a smaller SUV. But anyways, the S and the X were the first 2 out, and they were getting long in the tooth. I know, Gerard. Yeah, you have one. You have the 3, I think, right? Gerard sent a picture of his dash with was it Gerard that sent it? I think it was you. Sometimes the names when they cross over. Yeah, okay. When people have different screen names on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, so sometimes I get confused who's who. I can't keep it straight. It's okay. So if I get confused of who you are many times, everyone, just bear with me. It's not personal. It's just that like it's confusing and you know the names are different and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he had a picture of like my Touch the Piece from my first album, like on his Tesla playing. You know, Teslas are cool. Yeah, but the S and they refresh it. It looks so cool. Like, so the photo of you playing on Spotify. Oh, okay. Wait, someone said, oh, it might have been a different It might have been someone else then. Someone sent me a picture of like inside their Tesla, and then like I was on the screen playing on their Tesla. Pretty cool. Oh boy, yeah, Teslas are cool. I'm a Tesla fanboy who doesn't have a Tesla. Oh, it was me. Okay. Oh, it was you. Okay. See, I told you I'm getting confused. Elon Musk. Yeah, he's like modern day Iron Man, isn't he? I'd love to meet him someday. That'd be awesome. Hopefully someday. Yeah, very cool stuff. I want the X. That's what I want. I'm probably not gonna get it. It's a lot of money. It starts at 90, I think. And then when you get like the performance, it's like 120, and you add self-driving, it's like 130, and then you add the white seats and the 6 seats, it's another like 10 grand or something. And then tax starts getting expensive. I mean, it starts expensive. 90 grand for a car is not exactly cheap. Okay, so let's do. I'm not sure exactly what all we'll do today. What are we doing time-wise? We've already been on here for almost 2 hours, folks. Let's see, any other news and stuff to share this week? Not too much. Hope you all are doing good. I don't think I even talked about that at all. Like, hope you're all doing well, staying safe and healthy, all that stuff. I wonder if I play the Rachmaninoff Prelude, if Sony is gonna say I'm playing Sparky's Magic Ride or whatever it is again, and copyrights like claim my video. That's annoying when that happens. Yeah, and the burden is on the video maker to prove innocence, which is kind of annoying. Okay, let's play this. Let's see. Let me look at the timestamp before we start. 1:48. 1:48. I have to do math in my head. 1:48 is 61:08, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Rachmaninoff. Yeah, Rachmaninoff Prelude number something in C minor. That's another one I'm working on. I haven't recorded these yet. Let's see. I'm pooped. Not this longer than I thought. All right, let's do it. Let's just play it through. Might not work on it too much. That's a cool piece. Oh, cool piece. Oh, David, I'm starting my holidays from my career. Have fun writing music and improvising, David. Hope to see you next time. Anna, beautiful. Anna, beautiful. Oh, thank you. Doing well too. It's very cold these days. Where are you, Rashad? Oh, thank you, Charlie. You're welcome. Thank you. Cool piece. Yeah. Well, thanks, Anna. It's really good. It's a pretty piece. I don't think I want to work too much on it today. I'm just gonna play it once and then. Let's do the same with that Liszt Nocturne that we did last time. Liebestraum. 154. Math, Charlie, math. 154 is 120 minus 6. 114. I can't do math in my head anymore. Okay, well, I never was able to anyway. Liszt. I can't even remember. How do you spell that? Liebestraum. Liebestraum. Okay, Liebestraum. Okay. Nocturne number 3. Again, I'm putting in these thingies, the timestamps, so that when people come back later. Do you find the rock hard to memorize? I haven't really tried to memorize it too much. I think I can pretty much play it by memory. There's a few parts that are a little hard. The middle part can get a little confusing sometimes. In the very end, you have to remember there's 5 chords before the last main chord. It's not too bad. It's kind of like ABA format, right? So A, the main section, B, the middle, and then the end is basically the same as the beginning, except louder and more notes. Liebestraum, that's it. Liebestraum. Okay, let's do the Liebestraum. It's still not quite there. The couple parts I had trouble with. Better. Last other part I had trouble with. If I lead with the left hand, like the bottom notes, group them into like groups of 3. Better. Okay, that's a pretty piece. It's coming. It just needs to be polished. Oh, thank you, Paganini. The chromatic part is like when a rock. It's like when in a rock love song, the guitar do some strange solo. Yeah, no, it is kind of, right? Yeah. He just goes off on his own little tangent. Have you, question, how did you guys hear about this PPC? I want to try to figure out what the best way to broadcast this stuff is. I know if you're subscribed to YouTube, it'll probably pop up. And if you click the notification bell, which you all should do, it'll probably pop up. But this time I also did like a Facebook event, but I know that doesn't go out to many people. Paul, Facebook, which particular Facebook? Paganini too. Was it the event one? Was it the YouTube link one? Or that was like, I think I did 3 different ways. And the thing with Facebook is if you post something, if it doesn't, subscriptions, yeah. YouTube notifications. Oh, super, Gerard. I'm gonna hit the notification bell. So it depends. Like, so on Facebook, it really, like, there's like, I think followers on my page, there's like 770, a few hundred. But when I post something, it never goes out to all 7,000. It goes out to like maybe a few hundred tops, impressions they call it. And then out of those few hundred, and that's if it does well. Sometimes the impressions don't even go over like 100. So out of the 7,000, like it's really frustrating. So that's why I sometimes do a few of them at different times. Okay. So if you guys want to be notified here, the best way is just hit the notification bell for subscriptions, because that way it will pop up, I think, because YouTube does a better job of that. Facebook's really nitpicky about who clicks when. Like if I post something and it doesn't immediately get like 50 likes, then it's dead in the water. Anyway, you've heard enough of that rant. Anyone have any questions or anything, or anything you want me to talk about or anything before we kind of wrap it up? I could do a, yeah, I could answer anything or talk about anything real quick. It's Friday, thank goodness. I don't know how to explain it better. Oh. There are these channels now that do pieces shot from the top of the piano where the notes fall down. Oh yeah, Rashad, I know what you're talking about. The notes fall down. Someone actually, who does some of those offered to help me with it. They're cool. So what you do is there's software that if you play, you have to use first of all, you have to basically use a digital piano. You can't use this. So I'd have to play on my digital piano, which is actually not working super great right now. I think I might have to take all the keys apart and like clean the contacts with alcohol, because some of them like cut out and stuff. Like it's responding, but like I think it's just dirty. And I don't know if I want to deal with that. That's a pain in the butt, taking all 88 keys apart one at a time. Oh my gosh. But you record it on that, and then you can do. There's a lot of editing involved too, I think, but then you can have it like that. So someone offered me to help with that, but again, I'd have to do it on that piano. You can't do it on an acoustic piano. So it's kind of not so great because, Steinway's better. Yeah, those are kind of cool though. But I know exactly what you're talking about, Rashad. How often do you tune your piano? Not as often as I should. So when we first moved here, I got it tuned, and then didn't get it tuned for like a couple years because it didn't go out of tune at all. And then I got it tuned a few months ago, and I've been playing it a lot lately. It's not out of tune, but it's not 100% in tune either. It's pretty close, but not perfect. So I'd like to get it tuned again. But then again, when you get it tuned certain times of the year with the humidity changing, it affects it too. You're supposed to do it like every 6 months. I have an amazing guy that I've been using as my tech since I was like 6 or 7 in the Northwest. So if you need a guy in the Northwest, Ryan Sowers, Pianova, he's awesome. Pianova is the name of his company. How often you tune your piano, and are they becoming very popular? Maybe you can try making one of those. Yeah, Rashad. And you have to do it on a digital piano. Someone actually offered to help me if I do that, to make them for me or something. But it's not. You can't do it on a real piano. You just can't. They can't separate. I've tried software that like supposedly can like listen to your real piano and then write scores to it. Doesn't work. It's bad. They're bad. The tech isn't there. I'm curious. How did you discover your ability for improvising? So I started piano when I was like 3 and a half, and I played by ear only until I was about 6 or 7. So I had different teachers that taught me by ear. And so I would improvise and do covers and things like that, I think then. And then I started learning classical music, learning how to read music and stuff, but I kept up that side for fun. And so I'm doing it probably longer than I played classical music. Good question, David. What's your opinion on iPads for score reading? I don't do it. In fact, I don't even have an iPad. I have an old one, like the iPad. I think it was the second one that came out. It was the first one. No, maybe it was the third one that came out. It was the second or third gen iPad. So it has like the Retina display, but it's super old. I can't even update it to the latest iOS. I think it's stuck on like iOS 9 point something, because that's as far as it supports. I'm a Mac guy. Apple Watch, MacBook Air for this. Upstairs I got a iMac in my office. But I don't really use iPad so much. When I travel, if I need to, I'll bring a laptop with me, an iPhone. My iPhone is actually, I have a funky old one. I used to have a 10 and then it died. And then I went back to my 6S Plus temporarily and then it died. Died meaning broke because of somewhat related to my fault. The iPhone 10, I dropped outside of TSA and it had a little itty bitty crack near the camera on the back side, tiny, you couldn't notice it, barely. And it's supposed to be waterproof, and I'd wash it during COVID times, and apparently it wasn't waterproof all the way because one day the screen just went. iPhone 6S Plus, I started using that after it died, just temporarily, and then I dropped it and it died. So I got an SE. For me, I think it's actually a pretty good phone for like 400 and something bucks it was for the middle size one or the bigger size storage. I don't know, but I since I'm not traveling much and stuff, I'm holding off on buying a nicer phone. I might buy a nicer one maybe later on. I'm just at home all the time, and I'm actually recording on the SE. I only got one camera, not 2 or 3, but it has the same processor as the most expensive iPhone 11 Pro last year. So anyway, yeah, no, it's cool. The SE is a good value phone, Rashad. It's so it's the newest SE, so it's the one that came out in 2020, I guess. It's a good, it's for $400 for the low end one, or give or take some. It's give or take. It might be cheaper at Costco. I bought mine at Costco, and I got the middle one. I ordered it online. It's a super good deal. So if you're, but it has the old form factor. But actually, I like the Touch ID better than I liked the Face ID because Face ID, especially laying in bed, I'd have to go like this to make it recognize my face. And nowadays with masks and stuff, it's probably even less appealing because when you're out and about and you have a mask on, does it work? I don't know, does it work? Maybe it does. Okay, anyway, so what was the original question? I think some people do it with grand pianos. Do you ever try tuning it yourself? Oh, so iPads on scoring. Yeah, I don't use it for score. I just use music. If it's something that is a big piece of music that I'm learning that I know I'm gonna like come back to over and over again, I'll like buy a good quality copy of it. If it's a little piece, you can sometimes get it on like IMSLP or something if it's just like a few page little piece. But if it's like a big work, I'll buy a copy of it and keep it and kind of add it to my collection. Digital piano. I think some people do it with grand pianos. Yeah, they do, and then you have to literally type in every note, I think. Yeah. Or it's like a player piano that has MIDI built into it. So like it might work with like a Steinway Spirio or like a Yamaha Clavinova, because those are real pianos, but they also they're like player pianos. So you could probably connect it through MIDI like that. So it's either a piano that's like a player piano with MIDI, or you're literally typing in every single note you play and timing it, like matching the times up exactly, which, yeah, that would take, I have no clue how long that would take. That would take, can you imagine having to type in every single note and timing it? Oh, geez. So it's probably mostly on like player pianos that they do that, I'm assuming. Do you ever try tuning yourself? No. Because it's not so much just, because tuning a piano is one thing, but like a good technician does so much more than just tuning it, right? Like tuning it is just like getting it, getting the frequencies right. But there's also like, it's like being a really good technician is like an art in itself. And I can't do that. Because there's so much that goes into it. Not only like the frequencies and knowing how to, it's not necessarily just hitting the exact 440, I think. Because it's like the notes' relationships to each other, and I don't know, there's a whole bunch of stuff goes into it, I think. But I really don't know much on the topic, but I know it's much more than just cranking the little dials back and forth until the little thing goes in the middle. Also, like, they do all the other stuff, like they can soften the dampers, and they can balance, and there's a ton of stuff that can go into it. It can be like it's an art. It's an art. Sorry, I'm falling behind here. Do you have perfect pitch or relative bass? Perfect pitch, Gerard. Search YouTube and you can see Charlie playing when he was a kid. LOL. Yep, there's a few vids I put up from a long time ago. There's like a few of them. There's a playlist, Charlie in the News. I think there's a playlist. Let's check it out. Hang on, let me save this. And let me go back. And let me go to playlist. Sorry, you can keep asking questions. I'll get back there in a second. I'm just finding the Charlie on the News playlist. Watch on YouTube. I think this is it. Yeah. There's even a clip with like Bill O'Reilly. Here it is. Boop. There you go. Why didn't you see these videos? Well, you gotta get to it, David. There's a ton of videos on my channel. There's golfing videos. There's me doing all kinds of like vlogging and traveling. Some of my most viewed videos are like airplane seat reviews. Those are fun. Okay. Where am I? Oh, I'm falling behind. Up. Okay. Well, I have the SE2. Yeah. Yes, the speed is great, but the screen and battery can be bigger. Yes, agreed. I'm actually interested in the iPhone 12 mini. That actually looks pretty good. I think it's about the same size as the SE, but like bigger screen because there's no chin and forehead. I have the iPhone 11. I missed the home button and Touch ID. Yeah, so you get that with the iPhone SE. Rumor has it, I think, that the next iPhone, the iPhone, well, they just came out with the 12, so the 13 or 12 Plus or 13, whatever they're going to call it, might have, or 12S. Are they doing that? They skipped. There's no 11S. Maybe this should be 13. So 12S or 13, I guess. They already have a 12 Plus. No, they call it 12 Max. Anyway, 12 Pro Max. They don't have a Plus. So I guess it'll be like the 12S or like it'll be either called the 12S or the 13 probably, or something like that. There's rumors that they're gonna have like an under-screen one, which would be awesome. Which concert hall that you played at had the best piano to your taste? Oh, that's a hard question. There's been a few that have been really good. one of the coolest places to play at is actually in my hometown, Centralia College, because they have a 9-foot Steinway there that I help raise money for through concerts and stuff, that they call the Charlie Albright piano, the Charlie Albright Steinway. So they bought a 9-foot Steinway for their concert hall, and we did concerts to help raise for it, and also concerts for. So I did a series. I did a few concerts, and it went to buying the piano, to keeping it maintained properly, and also for like scholarships and stuff. And then people also donated money for the piano and stuff. So that's cool because it's like, it's like the Charlie Albright piano. That's pretty neat. And it's a really nice piano. And let's see some good ones. There's sometimes you see you get good ones that are kind of in unexpected places too. It's crazy. And I think a lot of the time it's the piano combined with like the concert hall. Like one of my favorite pianos is at the Gardner Museum in Boston. It's a beautiful concert hall that's like a square. I played there, I don't know how many times I played at the Gardner Museum, 11, 12 times or something over the course of many years. The Schubert recordings were made there. And if you haven't checked out my latest album, one came out in 2020, and it's on all the normal Spotify's and all those things. But of course I get like 0.00000000001 cent per play. So if you want to buy it, you can actually buy it on my website too. And I actually get all the monies from that minus transaction fees and stuff. But anyway, that's aside. So they're recorded there. The piano there is amazing too. And the hall is really cool. It's like a square, and there's like 2 rows in each. On the first one, there's like 2 rows around the periphery of the square, and it like goes straight up, and there's like windows in the top, and each balcony is like 3 or 4 floors, and there's like glass glass whatevers, so people don't fall off, and there's like 1 or 2 seats in each rows of seats in each row, and so people can like look down. So you have people from all over. So you take it's cool. So that's a beautiful piano. But there's sometimes I get pianos that are amazing and unexpected places. I don't think there's just one that I think is like the best. But sometimes they're in like unexpected places. Like sometimes you'll be in a small town and it's like an amazing piano and stuff. And you wouldn't expect it, right? You'd be like, oh, it's a small town and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's probably gonna have a lousy piano. That's not always true. Sometimes it's an amazing piano, and sometimes you go to a bigger concert hall and it's like the piano is like, it has some problems. But that's one of the tough things of playing piano around, is that not only do you have to adjust to the acoustics and stuff, but you have to also adjust your playing to the piano too. So it's much harder than like a violin. Subtle jab at violinists. I like violinists. I'm not poo-pooing on violin. I'm just joking. But yeah, like other instruments who carry your own instrument around, you only have to adjust to the environment, like the concert hall or whatever. With a piano, you have to do that plus a whole new instrument, and they feel completely different, and they sound completely different. So you have to adjust your playing and accommodate that as best you can. A snatch from Russell of Spring, please. I don't know what that is. What's Russell of Spring? I'm not sure what Russell of Spring is. Preference for Steinway, Hamburg, Steinway, New York, Fazioli, Bosendorfer, etc. Steinway, I'm a Steinway artist, so full disclosure, but they don't pay me. There's a few perks. In the old days, apparently, they'd like send a piano anywhere you went for free. So like you'd always have like a nice Steinway wherever you went, guaranteed, and they send it. They don't do that. Those are long gone. But there's some perks, like I supposedly can go practice at like Steinway selling places if I'm in a place that I need to practice. That rarely happens, because usually when you go somewhere, they set up a place you can practice if you need to. And when I travel, I usually don't practice too much while I'm on the road, right? I try to get more rest, like if I'm away on a short like trip for a concert or something. Hamburg, New York, it depends. I know a lot of people like Hamburg, but there's good New Yorks. I mean, I don't know. It depends on the Steinway itself. Like there's probably good Steinway New Yorks and good Steinway Hamburgs. For those of you who don't know, Steinway is made in 2 places, in New York and in Germany. And so that's what they call like Hamburg Steinway or New York Steinway. I think it depends on the piano itself. I think in general, my impression is that most people prefer Hamburgs over New Yorks, but I don't know if they're always better, Hamburgs. They're sometimes better, sometimes not. I think it depends on the piano. Fazioli, I debuted a Fazioli in Montana a few years ago. Some lady in Great Falls, Montana, donated a brand new Fazioli piano, which is like a few $100,000, to the orchestra. And I got to give the very first concert. It's a beautiful piano, very bright, and I think it's very good for certain types of pieces, maybe less good for others. Like I wouldn't want to put like Ravel or Debussy necessarily on it, unless it was maybe Clair de Lune. But like if it was like Gaspard la Nuit by Ravel, it would be a tough piano to play on because it's so bright, I think. But it's a beautiful piano. Busendorfer, they are very expensive. People always like kind of talk about how expensive they are. They're a few $100,000 too for a big one. Fazioli, it was a big one. It was like 9 or 10 feet long. The one I debuted. The Busendorfer, I don't care. I like Steinway's tone better. Yeah. Landscaping the yard videos. Oh, I have a lot of those. Striping the yard. I can't wait till the weather to get better so I can get out there again. I got new power tools too. Some Greenworks ones to go along with my Greenworks Greenworks mower. I can interchange batteries now. Any thoughts, preferences regarding the Hertz tuning different orchestras use? Not at all. I don't know. They usually do it to like orchestras do it to the oboe, and then so you do an A. The oboe does. No, do they do the piano first or the oboe first? I think usually you do the piano. Oh no. Do they do the oboe one first or the piano one first? I don't know. They'll do it once with an oboe, and then they'll do it once with a piano. I think piano might be first, but I might have it backwards. But yeah, I have no preferences on Hertz tuning orchestras use. Are you still an official Steinway artist? Yep. Interesting answer. I also like played some pop music. Things to that I discovered my ability to improvise is one of the most interesting things in music. I love improvisation. It's like raw music. It's like music at its one of its most pures, right? It's unedited. It's very raw. There's no going back, no do-overs. The Gardner piano is a Hamburg. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Oh, hey Charles. It's a great one. Did Elizabeth perhaps mean Sindings Frühlingsschrochen? I don't know. Just watch the video where you were 4. It's really cute how you can't stop playing while the others are speaking. Haha, can totally relate to that. Do you have memories from back then? I think so. Sometimes when you think way, way back, maybe it's just me, I don't think so. You know when you think way, way back, you're not sure if what you're thinking is actual memories or like images, like things from like videos and pictures that you see, that, and then your mind kind of makes memories from those videos or pictures, or a combination. So it's kind of like that. I'm not sure if it's actual memories and or pictures and videos that I've seen and or like memories created from one or both of those things, maybe is what I mean. Okay. Just watch. Okay. Do product endorsements for household products in your car? Yeah, why not? Greenworks, sponsor me. DeWalt, I joked around. DeWalt, I still haven't released the video. I'll do it soon. Oh, wrong one. I put up those fancy smart lights in above the you can kind of see above my cabinets in the kitchen. And they do all kinds of stuff. Not just color change, but like swirling or like run. You can have like different zones and stuff. They run. They like you can have them move. Not swirling, but move. And I joke around that DeWalt should sponsor me because I was using DeWalt products. Yeah, maybe someday. Hopefully, that'd be cool. I'll make some money from ads. I think now I'm getting like 80 cents to $1 a day in ad revenue. I'm working like countless hours making these videos, but I'm making $1. Woo! Move over dollar menu. Okay. Yes, I have that too about the memories. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, TGIF everyone. Let's see. I'm on the West Coast. It's almost noon here, so I'm probably gonna go make some eggs and toast and have some late breakfast brunch thing, lunch. And yeah, so I have more videos coming out. If you haven't hit the notification bell, do it. Play us out with something, please. Okay, I'll play you out with something. Let's do something funny, or maybe I don't know. Hang on, I gotta do another one of those timestamp things. It's much easier to do it while I'm doing it. Sorry if it's annoying. I hope it's not. But because like when I'm doing, if I type the timestamps in as I'm going, I know I can remember for one. I don't have to remember later on, which is hard to do something sometimes exactly what you played when. And I don't have to like find exactly. I don't have to like skip through the thing and like, oh, was it here? Was it there? Here I can just look, 224. So mental math, if I can find them. I closed the thing earlier. Mental math, 224 is 144. Look at that. Can you do the windows shutting down theme? Which one is that? Was that Windows Me? Okay, hang on. Windows shutting down sound. What is that? XP? XP is the famous one. Everyone knows XP. How does that one go? Oh, that one. What was this one? What was that? Was that Windows Me? Revolution. I haven't done that one. I haven't done the Revolutionary Etude. I've done all of 25, and then I've learned for fun some of 10. Not the Revolutionary Etude. I don't think the Revolutionary Etude is the best. I don't know. That's just a personal preference. I know a lot of people like it. I think it's okay, but I don't think it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Yeah, the intro's cool. The intro's cool. Okay, what should I play? What should I play? What should I play? Liberace? What kind of Liberace? Oh, I love Liberace. Let's do a non-copyright infringement one so that they don't copyright claim the entire 2.5-hour video. How about we do a quick, oh, blues. Hey, I recorded a blues a few days ago, edited it. It's going to come out soon. It's going to come out soon, David. You read my mind. Yeah, copyright. Yeah, if they'll copyright, they'll like claim the entire thing and then take any of the $1 I might make. All right, let's think of a good Liberace style something to do. What should I do in the style of Liberace? Liberace style. I don't even call it Liberace style. It's just lots of arpeggios. Yeah. If you do something copyright, then they can take like they'll get at least part of all the revenue from the entire video. Yeah, I think. Jam out on blues so good. It'd be cool to do a tutorial on blues piano improv. So I am coming out with a blues one. I can do a little blues. It's coming out. I already recorded it. You guys read my mind. All right, let's do a quick blues thing. The algorithm is like a very grumpy dictator. Yeah? Yeah? I don't think Liberace did blues, did they? Bass line, very exotic, I say. I expected a good one. Well, thank you. Just different. It's blues with an asterisk. All right, well, thank you all for hanging out. Thank you all. Make sure you're subscribed and that notification bell is blue. Yeah. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you. Come join me on another one of these. I don't know if it's going to be next Friday or not. It might be, depending on how I feel. It might be another day. Might not be next week. Oops, did my phone just die? No? I don't think so. My phone didn't die. I thought my phone died. The thing here froze. So anyways, yeah. There's a lot more videos coming out. Probably next week. I don't want to put them too much because then they'll start like not... If you do too much at once, it's bad. So I'm kind of spreading them out. Anyways, there's Schindler's List and the blues coming out and some talking time. And sometime I'll release how I did that video on... putting in like accent lighting and stuff, and I might make videos also on like other fun stuff. Maybe on that new slider thingy I got, and maybe on like smart homifying my home, that kind of thing. If any of you guys are interested in tech stuff, I am. I think that's fun. I am talking way too fast. Probably too much coffee. I'll see you guys later. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Talk soon. Bye bye.